the opportunity for a Hollywood finish will take the 250.
Phoenix, there they go, down to the bottom, 4 or 5 wide. Let's see if they can all keep it together. But Jacob Arnott.
Remember last year when they ran the Weenie 500, they streamed it on YouTube, on their YouTube channel? They're bringing it to TV this year.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another race here in the Bottom Split Racing Series. Tonight, we're heading to Portland Raceway to get some road course action in for you all. Joining the booth tonight by a special guest, the road course ringer himself on the Wednesday Night Dash side of things, Tyler Cheney. Tyler, how are you doing today?
Good, man. How are you? Happy to be here.
Oh, I'm just fantastic. Now, normally, I'm not big on turning right as much as maybe you are. I know you have quite a bit of experience both in stock cars, but also in some endurance level stuff. So talk to us a little bit. Give us a preview of what we might be seeing tonight.
Lots of loose rear ends. It kind of seems to be the trend here in Portland. I did a few laps in the O'Reilly car a few days ago, kind of getting ready for our Portland race that we have coming up in this Wednesday Night Dash season. The rear end likes to kick out pretty easily. And I'm seeing the same thing with the ARCA cars here, just kind of looking around in practice. I've seen a couple of spins. So it's going to be fun to watch these guys kind of navigate the corners and how well they can get the power down. Because I feel like a lot of your passing is going to be at the end of that long straight between turns 8 and 10. So getting the power down, coming out of turn 8 and then getting onto the brakes into turn 10 is going to be like your main passing zones.
As you mentioned there, that long straightaway right there by kind of opening up the track for a hard right-hander there. A little bit of track knowledge for everyone watching back at home. It is almost 2 miles in total length, coming in at 1.967. The race length for tonight is 18 laps. There is no stage caution like we do when we go to the ovals, but look for those 12 turns. Weather's looking pretty good. No rain, which I think would scare some of these guys if it did start raining. But a 10-mile-an-hour wind. Yeah, 10-mile-an-hour wind, 70-degree, beautiful temperature here in Portland, so can't complain whatsoever. Talk to us a little bit, too, about tire management, if you don't mind. Is it something these guys have to manage on a road course when it comes to burning a particular set, and do road courses differ on what sides burn more?
Yeah, so it's going to be your right rear or the left rear. It just depends on which corner you're turning off of. So lefts and rights, you're going to be burning the rears a lot. Like I mentioned just a minute ago with getting the power down, it's very loose in the rear. And if you're just like coming out of a corner and slamming into the throttle as hard as you can, you're going to spin those rear tires. And you may not wreck necessarily or spin out, but over the course of 2, 3, 4, 5, however many laps we're running tonight, you're going to feel it. So you're going to be able to get into a corner, get the power down, and it's going to slide even when you're not trying to get the power down. So whoever can kind of just, at the start of this race, maintain their rears. The front shouldn't be a problem. There's a couple of tight corners, but mostly everything here is like a sweeping corner. So if you just maintain the rears, you'll probably be fast in the long run. Of course, we have no cautions here in BSRS. So your main thing is going to be maintaining the rear tires.
Talk to us a little bit about that with the race being 18 laps and no cautions. When it comes to the only in-car adjustment you can make is brake bias, how much are you messing with that, I guess, in the O'Reilly car, and how much do you believe they'll be messing with it here tonight?
Me personally, I don't really ever touch the brake bias. I like to learn with what's the word I'm looking for? I try to like learn the car without having to touch anything. And if it's necessary and I need to go in and actually change the brake bias or the steering ratio, whatever, I will do that. But I usually just kind of run it how it's meant to be run. And I don't know if that helps or hurts me, but it all just depends. It's like a driver preference thing.
As we take a quick look at the starting grid for tonight, as qualifying, I believe, has wrapped up now. We're going to have Robert Lewis starting on pole in the 01 with a 1:13.8. Scott Rolls P2. Matt Faust in the 45, making his part-time start for JM Motorsports. Jacob Barker starting right beside him in row 2. Garrett Jarnagin, followed by Aiden O'Neill, Mike Deach, Wesley Fuge, JP Jones, and Connor Fuge rounding out your top 10. Taking a look at the next row of cars starting out, there you can see John Corey and John Jarvis making row 6, with Eric Richardson and DJ Fluck of FR Racing rounding out your last 2 starters for tonight with no qualifying times. So should be quite an interesting race. Going back to that spread, I guess the spread between first and second is about 2/10. How much tight racing can you do? Is this track allow for some side-by-side? Kind of what's the layout when it comes to how aggressive can you be trying to make a pass?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You've got a lot of lanes to work with, especially in the front stretch, nice and wide, that long straight between turn 8 and 10, very long, very wide. It does funnel back down kind of into some tight corners, so there's some corners you won't be able to go side-by-side through. But for the most part, we can be side-by-side and make some passes, make some moves. You don't necessarily have to time it. Like when we did St. Pete this past season in the trucks, it was mostly, aside from a couple of straightaways, a one-lane track. So I think we'll see a few passes probably towards the rear of the field, but if these guys can run the same amount of times that they did in qualifying, I think the front's going to spread out just a tad.
There are some veterans on the Wednesday Night Dash side of things. The ones I'm looking at are Matt Faust and Jacob Barker. Matt especially might be a little biased with him being on our program, but he does have quite a bit of road course knowledge coming from the IndyCar side of things. How much do you think that translates, whether that be from Wednesday or from Tuesday over here tonight?
I think Tuesday, as far as the IndyCar goes, it's not as it's similar. I mean, obviously it's not similar. It's a stock car versus an open wheel car. The horsepower is very different. The aerodynamics are very different. So as far as that goes, I don't know if that. I'm trying to find a good way to put this because they're similar but not similar, if that makes sense. They're similar in terms of it's still a road course. You're still turning right. You're still having to get on the brakes at a certain point, but the braking points are different. The throttle inputs are different. Your aerodynamics are different. So you got the experience and hey, I turn right every week. Like Matt Faust and all these guys, they do the road courses regularly, whereas the Wednesday Night Dash and BSRS guys don't do that. So in my eyes, it kind of balances out a little bit. I don't think one's better than the other. Because Wednesday Night Dash guys get one race a year for experience, and I know they put practice in on off camera or an off broadcast, but I think it balances out. So I think you'll see a little bit of both. Obviously Scott Roll's going to be fast tonight. I think Braden will be fast tonight. Jacob, but then you've got Matt Faust up there in 4th as well, who runs the Indy cars, who's going to be fast. You've got Garrett Jarnagin, who won at Lime Rock last season, who's going to be fast. So it plays both ways.
Definitely can play both ways. I guess what would be, in your opinion, the toughest part of managing a race over this entire time, especially if you're the leader? How hard do you push at the start of a run as compared to the end?
Managing the rear tires, like I said earlier, it is so hard to just not get trigger happy and get the throttle down. Like I said, even if you don't wreck it, you'll feel them slide, and sometimes when you're in the moment, you don't think of it. I've been a victim of that myself. I did that at Mexico, and thankfully I got away with that one because of a couple incidents behind me. But early on, I was pushing way too hard and sliding the rears, and it bit me in the butt in the long run. I was losing time. So just, especially if you're the leader, you're just going to be maintaining the tires. When you get out there and you're leading the race, you can kind of just lose track of, especially if there's no one around, you kind of lose track of things.
Speaking of losing track of things, I just about missed it. The pace car is rolling off this time by, and we are green flag racing here in Portland.
Pretty even launch.
The 01 got a pretty good
3 or 4 wide moves now.
Already a very aggressive move out of the 45. There's a lot of guys below the corner there.
Jumping,
oh my gosh. You have to wonder the 01 has a slowdown.
Well. Yeah. One's got to slow it down. He's already got a good gap though, so he might be able to just bleed that time off and not actually, take any damage from it.
Now, I'm not much on aerodynamics.
Slowly.
Not much on aerodynamics expert myself, but what happens to the car? Does it cause any damage whenever you hit curbs that hard within iRacing?
In iRacing, unless you're like really jumping a curb, it's really sensitive in the Indy cars because their underbody is pretty much where everything's at. But as far as the stock cars go, you can jump those curbs all day long, and it won't really hurt anything. Probably get a little bit of side skirt damage, but that doesn't really affect the car all that much.
A tight battle right now between a lot of these cars. The YMCA number 82 is still under attack.
Aside from getting a little airtime, good opening lap for Braden. Or Robert Lewis. Not fast up in a second. Michael Deitch is one of our IndyCar guys as well, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is correct. They're in the 82 in the YMCA machine.
Couple of IndyCar guys, 1 and 2, 3. Our Britain driver in 4th. Aiden O'Neill 5th. Jacob had a pretty rough start, fell from 3rd back to 6th.
Right now, our leader is maintaining the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:13.8, it looks like. The driver in second with a 1:14.1. Unless that's their qualifying times, that's very possible as well.
Yeah, it looked like qualifying times right now. The first lap for Braden was a 1:18.3, and that is the fastest of the bunch so far. The first laps are a little bit slower. We'll see kind of what we're looking at here once they come around to finish the second lap, kind of what time they're running.
Huge wreck there as the 91 gets spun around a little bit there. We'll have to see what happens.
3-4 car wreck.
So we get a replay on that.
Oh, 91 not clear.
It doesn't look like it as he tries sliding down. Doesn't look like it.
Drifting through the grass.
Just big contact there as the 91.
Reese a sweet move of the race right there.
Woo!
Literally
the 2 comes
through the
right
grass.
down the corner. Ooh, good chow moment right there.
Turn right to go left.
If it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Eric Richardson heading down pit road. Oh,
21 has
Jones
another
around in the
spin.
middle of the chicane,
Oh, it
and
gets spun again. Double trouble right there for the 21 as he goes around twice.
Getting turned around. Now DJ Flux off as well here in turn 1. He's kind of just stopped there, waiting for everybody to roll by. That's the IndyCar experience. Let everybody go by first for you. Merge back onto the track.
Hope it works out.
Back up front though, Robert Lewis is hurting on him. Start this one. If you're Braden, it's all about, like I said, just maintaining the rears. You've got a 3-second advantage already. Don't go too hard. Just watch the pace. I keep an eye on the relative too. If I'm Braden, run at a pace where I'm comfortable keeping the lap times up, but also try not to kill my stuff. And if Matt Faust gets a little bit closer, then you pick up the pace a little bit. It's all about maintaining the gap at a place like this.
1000%. You want to be able to maintain without burning your stuff up. It is one of the hardest balances to make. It's, for me at least, maybe it's a little bit easier on an oval.
Push.
Right, it's a little easier on an oval. I feel like once you kind of get in a groove, but with so many different corners on a road course, it can be hard to stay mentally focused for that long. Or maybe I'm just bad on road courses.
No. I mean, that's a skill or not. That's the thing, is keeping your mind in the right place when you're running these things, especially on iRacing where we have no caution zone road courses. Usually, most of our iRacing events, whether it be endurance or stock cars on road courses, it's caution free. You'll have like a slowdown here and there from like a sector yellow, but you're not stopping and resetting. You're going right from the start to all the way to the end, however long that time may be. So keeping your mind in the right spot for those is a very, very big challenge. Still pulling away though is the 01. Got up to about a 4-second gap now.
Not doing too shabby. He continues to pull away. All the cars are starting to get a little spread out now. There's a little bit of passing going on back in the 11th to 12th position. I think guys are starting to figure stuff out on if they completely destroyed their car or not. They do have fast repairs, so if they can limp it back around, they are able to salvage what they have out of the day, but I'd have to imagine a pit stop here would be a little bit more costly than it would at other road courses.
Yeah, that last lap for Braden, talking about keeping the pace down, he's not doing that. He's ran at 1:13.8 last time, which was the same time he put in qualifying. Was a full second quicker than Matt Faust.
No signs of slowing down, wants to have as big of a gap as possible. Talk to us a little bit, though. I know you briefly mentioned it earlier about trying to just make as big of a gap as possible. You talked about it at Mexico City, where you kind of stretched out quite a bit of a lead, and that allowed you to make a mistake and kind of give you a little bit of a buffer. So is that an optimal strategy? Is that something you think about before you start the race, or is that just something you just kind of keep in your back pocket and hope it works out?
Situation, I think. Like for Mexico, I had gotten the pole, so I was like, all right, I can, start up front and kind of just go with it, run away, see if I can put some time in. So, if I do, later in the race miss a corner or the rears get a little slippy and I have to like really back it down on an exit corner, I'm not losing time that's detrimental to my position or to my race. Like I can go a little easy on an exit, maybe lose half a second or whatever, but it's half a second compared to, the 3-4 second gap that I would have had. So I think if you're starting up front like Braden did in this case, it's not a bad strategy. I still would try to be a little careful though, because you can overheat those rears, and whether you're trying to spin out or not, it'll just come around on you without even knowing about it. All about tire temps and how hard you're burning or heating up those right rears. You see Braden just slipped a little bit right there as he turned back into turn 7.
Another little wiggle there out of the rear end. You have to wonder if he has aggravated those tires. Talk to us a little bit, too, if you don't mind, about cooling tires. I know it's a little bit different on ovals when you kind of ease out of the throttle or let the car coast a little bit more to be a little bit easier time on those tires. But at a road course, what's the most optimal way to keep those tires cool whenever you have a bad corner?
So it's kind of just the complete opposite. So like, let's say you go into, for this case, like turn 6. It's a sharp left turn here at Portland. If you go into turn 6 and you feel your right rear step out or your rear slide a little bit, you just kind of back down the pace. Let's okay. In Braden's case, he's got a 5-second lead. Let's take turn 7 through the rest of the lap or whatever it may be, and we'll just back up a little bit. So we'll brake a little earlier, kind of just roll into the corner, coming off exit. We're gonna roll back into the throttle instead of spiking it real hard, and just do that for a lap, maybe a lap and a half at a road course, and you'll pull them down and right back to business. So just kind of maintaining. We mentioned maintaining a lot, whether it be the gap, the tires, whatever it may be. Oh, John Corey's around.
That was a big old spin. We caught that one on camera. The 32 about loses it too. Oh my goodness.
We got Jacob Barker on pit road as well.
Jacob.
I'm assuming it's an unscheduled stop.
Jacob Barker's on pit road. We'll take a quick look at those driver live standings. So take a look at them. You can see them at the bottom of your screen on your left. Have Robert Lewis right now leading with 111 points, with Jacob Barker in second. But as Tyler just mentioned, he is on pit road, so we'll have to see how big of an effect that has on his point standing. With John Corey currently sitting in P3, we'll have to see if these road course runners can really make a big jump in those points.
Yeah, I want to say shout out to John Corey. From what I've heard, he's on the younger side, right?
Yes, I believe so.
In terms of age?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, doing a great job, and still room to grow. So we saw him just get around a little bit ago, but I mean, before that was running, I think, up in 3rd or 4th, something like that. Was in the top 5 for sure. Still 6th. So he drove off just a tad. Yeah, no, he's still doing pretty good. For his age, I know a few youngsters who are pretty good on the sim, so not surprising to see.
Let's look a little bit closer back to
the cooling tires thing.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yeah, back to the cooling tires thing. We're just basically maintaining it. That's all that it is. Like I said, right before John went around, we say maintaining a lot, whether it be gap tires, your car, whatever it is. Just run the same pace and run your pace. Don't let anyone push you harder or make you run less. Just find something that is comfortable for you and stick to it.
Talk to us a little bit too. I know you're a big part of Team Extreme. I know at JM Motorsports we lean on quite a bit of help from the 4-car whenever it comes to learning tracks. But talk to us a little bit about data sharing within your organization and how that looks, especially when you approach a newer track like a road course or just even an oval that you haven't been to.
Yeah, so it's all about just putting the laps in prior to race day or race week, especially if it's a new track. Like for St. Pete last season, we put a month or two of work into that, a month and a half or so. Like we all were on track, practicing, putting laps in, you know, put up a hosted session for the team, stuff like that. And then we also have some guys behind the scenes like Michael Tucker, who runs IRWS. He's really great on the oval side of things. He helps us a lot with a lot of the ovals and just kind of learning the basis of the track. And we'll kind of take that information that he gives us, move it into the race, and then kind of work from there. So me and Michael kind of bounce it back and forth on who's teaching who and how to approach different things. I want to mention also the gap closed quite a bit between Matt Faust and Robert Lewis that last lap, and I went back and looked at it actually, talking about heating up the tires a lot. Braden, we saw him earlier come off of turn 7 a little bit sideways. Same situation here. He was coming out of turn 5, and that right rear just kicked out him a little bit, and he went a little bit off the racetrack. Was able to gather it back up fairly quickly, but yeah, lost pretty much half of the time he had gained.
I think a similar story could be said for the number 4. Scott Rolls was gaining even on the 45 before he made a mistake trying to get around the lap car of DJ Fluck. Just got a little squirrely on him, but now that gap's kind of spread out a little bit more. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Road course racing, it's all about rhythm. Can't beat yourself is the biggest thing.
Yep, and I know that's a lot of people's strategies going into the road courses on Wednesdays. Like I know Chris Huge is a big one. He preaches it every week. He's like, I'm just showing up and I'm just going to keep my nose clean, and wherever I end up is where I end up. And usually he comes out of it with a top 5 most of the time.
Yeah, especially with how long some of those toes can be. If you really mess up a corner and kill your car and have to take that toe. So the 45 goes super wide right there. He's going to be side by side with the 4 coming off the corner. Who's going to be able to get the power down first?
The run off here, block the right front a little bit. We can get the power down more side by side into a little small section of S's here. The 45 is going to power away.
Quite the aggressive move to say the least, but track position seems to be pretty important. Can these drivers get back in a rhythm and try to get, because if you're the 0-1 right now, if you're Braden Lewis, you're loving what you're seeing going on behind you as these two continue to battle.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially after it's had the really scary slide there. You know, well, you see this in your mirror. If I'm Robert Lewis, if I'm the 0-1, back it down. I'm just gonna go as easy as I can while they fight, because I'm not gonna lose any real time. I'll be able to kind of cool my stuff down after a big slide that he just had.
Looks like the 45 has conceded the spot for now. So he lets the 4 go by on the straightaway. We'll see if he makes another attempt at it later in the run.
All right, now this is gonna be interesting. We've got our road course ringer, if you will, for BSRS. 4 seconds back. He's got 8 laps to go. Can he run down Braden from this far back?
It looks like right now Braden is actually dealing with some traffic right ahead of him. How much do these lappers play an effect?
It's the 87, John Jarvis. Yeah, and already 2-3 tenths swinging in the direction of the 4. Oh, he went just slightly wide and pretty much lost all of that. But he was gaining there for a minute. Just get back into a rhythm, and you'll be able to catch him. I can imagine the 0-1 stuff is pretty hot right now.
I believe that you've messed a little bit around with some part-time starts whenever it comes to running some different leagues. Talk to us a little bit about the mindset change. The 45 might be experiencing right now, just being a one-off driver for the road course race. How aggressive is too aggressive whenever you're just doing one race?
Wesley Fuge! Oh my goodness. Just almost pulled back down in front of the 0-1 there.
We'll see if we can catch that replay.
Oh, and 87's around. The 0-1 is dodging them like landmines. Good Lord.
Looks like the 68 just lost it on entry. We'll quickly cut back to the leader, though. There's bigger stuff going on.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, the 68 had turned it around and then tried to get back going and almost just pulled directly in front of the 0-1. And that slowed him up a lot. The gap now only a second and a half between the 4 and the 0-1. But anyway, sorry, you were asking me a question. I got carried away there watching all the good racing we got going on. The mindset between running different leagues and just kind of like part-time starts, if I'm full-time in a league, my goal is always points, like get as many points as I can. So the mindset is slightly different. I go into the race thinking, okay, I need to finish as well as I can, not just kind of, hey, I'm here to race, have fun, win, whatever. If I'm in a one-off situation and I'm Matt Faust and I know that, you know, I do road course on the regular and I'm popping in as a one-time road course start for this series, and I might have a little bit of a Matt, maybe this is the ego talking a little bit, but I'm thinking win. He's got the skill to do it. He does it regularly. He's got an advantage or a step up or a leg up, so to speak, on the rest of these guys. I'm thinking I want to go out there and win this thing. Now, you still got to be wise with that, though. If you want to go win or if you want to run really well in a one-off start, you still can go out there and be like, oh, I'm better than everybody. Let me just go drive as hard as I can and I'll beat them. That's not necessarily how it works. You still have to go into it and treat everybody like they're the best driver in the world, pretty much. You got to run your line, stay consistent. You got to manage your tires. No different than a full-time ride. It's just that you're thinking win, not points, in my case.
Talk to us a little bit too about managing different leagues, whether it be all under the Wednesday night or all under the Stadium Scene umbrella or bouncing between different organizations and factions. Talk to us a little bit as the 88 goes around. Talk to us a little bit about grudges. We know drivers are kind of notorious for holding grudges or having a very elephant-like memory. So how hard is it to kind of put that to the side whenever you're switching from league to league, or are you even with someone that can put it to the side? Do you keep a running tally in your head whenever you go track to track of who's messing with you?
As far as grudges go, I did have that issue. I'm not gonna put anyone or anything on blast, but there was an issue where I was running a
no name drops. That's okay.
Yeah, no name drops, no league drops, nothing. But I did have an issue my first season in Wednesday Night Dash where I had run a different series or a different with a couple months before that season started, and it was with the same group of guys, and then had some issues with them over there in that series, and I think maybe a little bit of it bled over into Wednesday Night Dash in that first season, and who knows, that could have been what cost me the championship that year. I ended up finishing second just a couple months back from your man. So it's kind of, they definitely don't forget, but I try to leave things where the problem is. So if I have a problem with somebody in this series and I race them in a different series, I try not to think of it that way. I think of everybody in one series as their own set of drivers, and even if it's the same driver in a different series, that's a different driver in my head. So like I have an issue with this person over here, while it may be the same person, that's a whole new situation. Where in some cases, different cars, open setup to fixed setup, different tracks, different racing styles, different skill levels throughout the field. It all bounces around. So yeah, from my perspective, I just take it as like a series to series basis.
Now, if you're staying within the same series, like let's say, for instance, the Wednesday Night Dash banner, after the season is over, do you kind of hit a reset button, or do grudges hold over from season to season? Or rivalries? We don't even have to call them grudges.
Rivalries,
we just call them
sure.
rivalries.
I was just getting ready to mention that. I kind of, after the season's over, I kind of wipe a clean slate with, okay, he did this to me last season. I'm not going to go into race number 1 on this year and turn him around because he got into me at the end of the last season. That's not what I'm going to do. But rivalries, for sure, I will go into the season remembering what this person did to me or what we've gotten into the previous seasons, and I will kind of race around them a little differently. I'll maybe set up a pass differently, or not race as close to them, or maybe I'll race closer to them. Just depends on the person, the situation, that kind of stuff. But I don't hold the grudge over, but I'll hold the rivalry for sure.
It seems like there's a lot of team camaraderie among you and the rest of Team Extreme when it comes to having each other's back. How much of that does that translate to the track? Would you guys ever block for somebody? Is that kind of just a team morale? You help each other out when you can, whether it be, pulling, I guess, would that be Larson on Harvick whenever Elliott on Harvick whenever Larson ended up winning?
On Harvick,
yeah. Is that the kind of line that you're willing to draw?
Specifically, I think it was a tad different because Harvick had done Elliott wrong in that exact. I think it's a little bit different. I think if one of us is racing for the lead and gets knocked out by another guy, the teammate probably would try to help him out in that situation. But if it's just like or one of our guys is fighting for the lead and the other one of our guys is not running the best and they happen to be like a lap car situation, we wouldn't, I don't think intentionally would just go out and outright block somebody, but you're definitely probably going to, and that could be said for any team, probably going to race them a little bit harder just because your teammate's there, right? You don't want to just kind of pull over and let them go. Now, if it's, anybody else, you'll probably just be like, yeah, go on, whatever, race your race. But you do want to help your teammates out, but also try not to interfere too much with the battle for the lead.
The 4 car has slowly started to reel in the 01s. Take a look at that battle for first place. Matt Faust has fallen off quite significantly now, as it says on my scoring pylon. He's 14 seconds back. More. That battle for the lead is down to 1 second.
Yep, Scott is reeling them in ever so slightly. Looks like the 01's got a little more drive off, but the 4 is able to kind of drive it deeper into the corner and get that center rotation, which is where he's getting all his time. Then as soon as I say that, he drove it in too hard.
Oh, the Fox News announcer jinx.
I did it. I'm sorry, Scott. Oh man.
Start
Well,
typing
he
up the
was gaining
apology.
time.
Yep, it's
Yeah. Goodness, man. Well, I'm the 01. I'm running as slow as I possibly can the next 2 laps. All around great race from the 01, though. So he can get it back around a couple more times.
as a full-time member in the 4-car, how hard do you push right here? Do you try to close that gap in case the 01 makes a mistake, or you kind of just maintain second and come home with a clean points day?
If I'm the 4, I'm just kind of riding now. It's 2 laps to go. I was catching him, but it wasn't quick enough to where I'm going to gain 5 seconds in 2 laps. So now I'm like, all right, I'm still going to, try to catch him just at the off chance, like you said, he slips up or something crazy happens. But if I'm in the 4, I'm just like, okay, well, mindset is switched now. It's P2, or I can push harder and, spin out and finish worse than P2. So just kind of ride around, still go just hard enough to where you're still closing in or maintaining that gap, but don't overdo it like he just did and cost yourself more points. I don't know where he is in the point standings, but as far as the points day goes, thinking full-time driver like we were talking earlier, just ride it out. A P2 is better than like a P6 if he were to spin out again. So.
Scott Rolls is currently sitting 9th, but as we have 1 lap to go, if you don't mind, let's go through, if you don't mind name dropping 2 drivers. One driver that kind of surprised you, that you are surprised they're racing as good as they did, like kind of outperforming what they normally do on a road course that you normally see. And then also, give us one driver that you might have expected to be a little bit faster that didn't quite have the speed today.
As far as faster goes, I want to say Jacob Barker or maybe Garrett Jarnagin. Either one of those guys. Both are fairly decent road courses. Both have won multiple times or championships here in BSRS. I both expected them to be up here a little bit more, but they're 30-plus seconds back from the lead. As far as overperforming, my brain wants to say Michael Deitch, but he does this on the regular as far as road course racing goes. But in a stock car, it's a little bit different. So, we'll go with that. Michael Deitch has done an excellent job today.
Michael Deitch in the 82 car, currently sitting, if I take a look at the driver standings, he is sitting somewhere. It's not popping. It's not popping up for me.
Lots of cars are around here.
Lots of cars
gonna watch
too.
the finish as a fan. Off on a corner though, Braden Lewis.
Braden Lewis takes the start-finish line. Your winner of Portland.
Amazing drive, amazing race. He did everything right, kept the nose clean, aside from the one little slip up there, but kept the nose clean, made everybody chase him, and made everybody make mistakes, and that led to him being a victory lane here.
He should easily carry that points lead from last weekend into this weekend with an outstanding drive in the L1 machine.
How many races in are we this season? Is this race
This
3?
is race 3, that's correct.
So still a little bit of a ways to go, but all the points matter. So.
All the points matter is after, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be halfway through the season with only 8 races total being make up the entire season.
Well, you only get 8 races.
Only 8.
I thought it was 10.
Only 8.
Dang, so a little bit of a shorter season.
It doesn't always feel that way when there's 2 weeks between every race. It's every other week.
I didn't know that part, so that's why it feels a little longer.
Yeah, it's every other week, and then you got the off weeks too, and it's you'll go through a Wednesday night dash season and a half typically
before one of these are over. Yeah, because we run 10 weeks in Wednesday night dash, but it's usually consistent. Like it's usually like straight 10 weeks. Give or take 1 or 2 off weeks.
As we pull up those final results for you all to look at. The 01 of Robert Lewis coming home P1, Scott Rolls P2, Matt Faust P3, P4 Mike Deitch, P5 Garrett Jarnagin, P6 John Corey, Aiden O'Neill P7, Jacob Barker P8, JP Jones P9, John Jarvis P10. As the 01 just...
No burnout for the 01 today. He wants to save that engine, save the tires on it.
Save it for next season when we go back to a road course, but I'm not sure what he's saving it for, but all respect to him for not wanting to burn it down.
Hey, that car just won you another won you a bottom split race. Keep it pristine.
Exactly, it'll look better.
Go put it in the lobby at the shop. Let everybody look at it.
It'll look a lot better in the shop. As we see who's available to talk to, we'll try to grab our top finishers for the race. Let's see who wants to give us the time of day. Who are the 3 I need? I know where one of them is. If he ignores me, I might be a little mad. There's the winner. Still waiting on P2 to show up. We'll see if he shows up in the meantime. We'll start with P3 tonight. Matt Faust in the 45 making your one-off start. Talk to us a little bit about the race. I believe you started in third as well. Almost snuck it 3 wide there at the first corner of the race, but ended up coming home P3. At times you're kind of in P2. Did you have anything for the leader or even second place, or was this kind of just a race you kind of just wanted to go out and drive what you could?
Yeah, no, it's all about minimizing mistakes. I definitely didn't have anything for P1 when I was sitting there, but if I would have cleaned things up, I think I could have finished second. But just too many mistakes, but that's all good.
All good with a solid drive in P3. Now, you're kind of known as a road course guy when it comes to our team. Do you have any plans to maybe sneak one more oval in there? Or this is kind of your one and done for the Monday side of things.
Hey, man, whatever the team boss decides, I'll always hop in that JM Motorsports Chevrolet and hopefully drive it up front.
Look at that sponsor plug and everything, the team plug. Wow. I've trained you well. Well, Matt, I appreciate taking the time to talk. I guess, Tyler, do you have any questions for him before we kick it off to our winner tonight?
You ran a great race, man, being a part-timer rear coming from IRWS. I think it was a solid showing, a P3. Can't ever complain. So good race time, man.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
And with that, we will kick it over to our winner, the 01 car of Braden Lewis. Braden, an outstanding drive from start to finish to really round this thing out. Let me know. I want to hear that mindset going into it. I'm not sure where you finished. Don't be mad at me. I'm not sure where you finished last season when we went to Lime Rock, but your teammate did show quite a bit of speed in the 32 last season, and you were able to hold off Scott Rolls, who is kind of known as the road course guy. Talk to me a little bit about the mentality he had going into the race and exiting as well.
Going in, I just didn't want to get pushed through the first corner. Well, if you notice, I missed the first corner because I was so scared I was going to get hit. But I was kind of after. Oh yeah, I did. After I don't know. After running some practice laps around here, and I saw the lap times I was put down, I'm like, well, I might be able to actually do something. So I knew as long as I didn't get wrecked in the first corner, I'd have a pretty good shot. So.
Cheney, I'll hand it over to you if you got anything.
How scared were you when you went a little wide there, got into the grass about halfway through the race?
No, okay, so the funny thing about it is I was running my mouth and lost concentration, and that's the reason why that happened. I had to yell at myself to stop talking.
I did that a lot. I able to drive so much better when I'm not, flapping my gums.
But, yeah,
we were talking. It's funny.
Really
We were talking about. Yeah, it was funny. We were talking about tire wear and all that good stuff, and overheating the tires, and it can get slippery on exit if you're not careful with the throttle. Right as that happens, so I was like, oh well, there's a good example right there. If you push it too hard, you might end up in the grass. Thanks for proving my point.
I felt the tire wear there toward the end, but yeah, no, honestly, I was just running my mouth, and then I kind of regained consciousness and realized I was sliding through the grass, and I was like, oh god.
Yeah.
I just ruined the whole race from talking.
Yeah, and then the 4 actually kind of ran you back down a little bit there before he went just a little too hard into the corner.
He did. Yeah, he did. I don't know. The funny thing about it is it's like it was so hard to pass here and me and Scott, our pace was pretty similar. And so, I mean, he was trying, but yeah, when he messed up there, he knew that was his chance and he lost it.
Yeah, I was talking. I kind of gave him the curse, so I'll give you that one. I was talking about how he was gaining time on entry because you were able to pull a little bit on exit, but most of his time was coming in because he was driving in pretty deep into the corner, and then as soon as I said that, he drove in just a little too hard and went off the track. So you're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Well, Braden, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to thank before you end the broadcast here?
Yeah, FR for running the league, y'all for doing the broadcast, and everybody over at SMR.
Well, we appreciate taking the time, and with that, we will end tonight's broadcast. We appreciate everybody stopping in to join us tonight. Tyler, thanks again for giving me an extra voice to bounce some stuff off, and I guess we'll see you in a couple days on the Wednesday side of things.
Yeah, got to get back in the saddle. Do it all again.
Got to get back in the saddle, indeed, as we take a look at that schedule. We're heading to Portland, was today, and then we have, I guess, for the upcoming broadcast, we have tomorrow we're heading to Watkins Glen for the IndyCar racing, and then Wednesday you'll see Cheney. I should actually be back in the broadcast booth for that one, but you'll see Cheney on the Wednesday side of things heading to Michigan. We'll have to see how much drafting can be done or how much wrecking can be done. But until then, this has been John Miles and Tyler Cheney in the broadcast booth. We appreciate you guys taking the time to join us for this Monday night season of Bottom Split Racing Series. Have a good rest of your night.